What's happening, everybody? We are back in the building. No, I don't even know how Jay-Z did it. Something my beautiful B. You know what I mean. Whatever it is. Yeah, man. We here. NBA report. We back. It's your man's Ron and John in the building. Sorry for the delay, guys, but there was some stuff that had to be taken care of. Real life stuff happened. So, we started a little later, but we here. We here. What's up, John? How you doing, brother?
What is going on? Happy to be back. I am back. I'm not incognito. I'm not lost. You don't have to send a surveillance to go chasing after me. I'm here. I'm in the building. I found my way home.
Yeah, man, we got him, yo. I don't know how long somebody might be trying to drag him away as we speak.
Oh,
we got him right now. What's up, everybody? Salute to everybody tuning in. Salute to the chat. Appreciate y'all, man. It's been another fire day for stuff because this preseason has been pretty exciting. I mean, there's a lot of good teams that have made some changes and stuff, and seeing some of these players, these young guys get in the swing of things. There's been some NBA rumor stuff. There's been some NBA controversy, if you will. Some stuff has been happening. The Knicks is flexing their muscles a little bit out here in these streets. You know what I mean? It's been pretty good. A little bit. It's preseason. It's like preseason.
They're flexing baby muscle.
There. That's what it is. It's baby muscles. Yeah. Yeah, man. So it's definitely dope. Happy to be back. I'm actually on vacation, but you would never know it. But the show must go on. So we here. So. Yeah. Without further ado, I hope you guys are doing great. Salute to the chat. Shine Cubes is in the building. Angel Torres, freshman floater is here. Appreciate you. Craig is in the building. Call Mega. What's good? Salute.
Craig, they listen. Ron had to spend a healthy fine to get me back into the States. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Ron for putting that bail money up.
I listen, man. I had to find out what he did, and I was like, "But what did he do?" I was like, they wouldn't tell me, but I got him. I got him back. That's all that matters.
All that matters. We here.
Salute to Geraldine McIver in the building, First Lady of Still Knick fans, MBK aficionado, NBA report alumni. She's just everywhere. She's everywhere, man. Salute to Geraldine.
In the building.
Yes. And Born Freedom is here. Salute to you, Born Freedom. Thank you for being here. All right. So listen, guys. First off, I just want to say this. This is little things, right? You guys probably don't know about this, but it's a big thing for me, okay? I told y'all I hate Firefox for doing these shows. I can't stand it. And finally, for the NBA report, I got Chrome. I'm back, baby. I'm back. Yeah, man.
Because we ain't got the sound effects. I got
more
Jose
fire.
in here.
More fire. Rhythm beats.
Let's talk about Jose. We got to get him back, too.
Yeah, that's right. We got to get Jose back in the mix, too. That's right. He's way back in the back in the scenes. He's way back. Yeah, but we'll be full strength very soon, guys. Definitely to start the season. New NBA season on the horizon. It's right around the corner. I think we maybe 2 weeks away. I mean, if that, it might be even a little less. Time is flying.
Yeah.
So as I was saying, being that I am using Chrome. It allows me to kind of go back into doing normal stuff that I would normally do, like being able to pull up something like, let's see, getting this up there for you guys. Boom. Look at that. Oh man. Let me just switch this up real quick.
Switch it up. Oh.
Let me get this out of here and then put one of these bad boys. Bang. There we go.
Oh, look at you, sir.
Yeah, there we go. Hopefully y'all can see that. I hope it shows up pretty good, and I can blow it up a little bit just to highlight something um, as I scroll up and down, man. You know what I mean? Just we back, baby, we back. Okay. So anyway, the reason why I brought this up, obviously, and I want to say this is a little limited. I would want to show you guys a little bit more, but the NBA preseason stats are funky. If you click on like say if you click on points per game, you should be able to see everybody, right? No, it goes to a blank screen. I'm not messing with that. So it's only showing us the top 5. I'll take it. It's preseason. It is what it is.
Yeah, it's
But
super early on. They haven't built that
yeah,
out yet.
yeah. Once the regular season starts, you'll be able to see everything. But right now, that's what it is. So I just think this is kind of interesting, guys, because you know what? Just off the top of the dome piece, you see the leader in points per game is DeJounte Murray. Now, not a lot of games have been played,
Yeah, what, two?
but yeah,
Max?
2 for most people, for most teams. Not everybody's even got 2, I don't think.
Right.
But the point is, you know, he dropped 25. You see Anthony Edwards drop 24. Jalen Brown is averaging 23. Bam Adebayo averaging 22. And Tyler Herro averaging 22. So these guys are obviously coming in full swing of things, letting that, you know, claim be made that they are like the next up and coming. This is the part of the reason why I wanted to highlight these guys, because notice these are not the LeBron Jameses. These are not the Steph Currys. Now, granted, you know Steph Curry is going to get his when it's time, but it's early, so he's not really worried about that. He'll be there in the end. But I just like it because these are all young guys, and even Bam Adebayo is young for a big man in the league. So it's nice to see all the new regime of players going out there and getting their points. What do you think about that, John?
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, that's how it's supposed to be, right? It's time for the new guard to show up and show out and show that they could be faces of their franchises. You know what I mean? But as you see, Chris Paul, look, Chris Paul, old head, leading in assist. You know what
Yep.
I mean? So there's always going to be room. You're going to see your LeBrons there. You're going to see your KDs there. I mean, they're just that talented. You know what I mean? When we talk about just pure talent and skill and athleticism and just, just a different breed of, player and they just built for that, so you could expect that to shift during the regular season. But for right now, it's nice to see. Early on, I expect to see Job there. You know what I mean? Um, in the mix early on. Trey, of course, and a lot of I want to see what those rookies are doing. There was a big rookie class this year, and a lot of them
Mm-hmm.
are getting a lot of minutes. I'm interested to see how they sort of fall in line and where they're at this upcoming season.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I just think that, what's also interesting too is, obviously it's preseason and you can't, put too much stock in it. But like if you just look at rebounds per game, look at Jalen Duren.
Hmm.
He dropped 14 rebounds. That's nice because this ain't summer league. He's doing this
Hmm.
against NBA talent. Whoever he's playing, it's NBA talent. So
And,
it's nice to see.
and that
It's
kid
good to
got
see.
NBA strength. At 19, I think he's the youngest player in the NBA right now, and he's got the girth, you know what I mean? And he's built
Yeah.
for the NBA, which is interesting because he could only just get stronger, as time goes on. He'll start to develop, man strength. And then not
Hmm.
only that, his skill level will start to go up as well, as long as he just keeps progressing in his game. So it's going to be interesting to see young players like him. Tyree Eason is another one who had an impeccable showcase of his game coming off the bench. I thought he did
Hmm.
really, really well. Um, there's a lot of players to be looking out for.
Yeah, no, I agree, and I think so. I mean, things that just stand out to me, just automatically looking at this, is Jalen Duren, getting 14 rebounds, Tara Eason getting 10. I think that what's also interesting, I know this is one of those things where if you play fantasy sports, you notice certain things like this all the way at the bottom right, far right, you see fantasy points per game and it shows you certain numbers. So these players basically had really good overall games and they contributed in more than just one way. And what stands out to me here is Tara Eason.
Right. Yeah.
41 points. That means outside of those 10 rebounds, he did other things. They may not show up because they're not in the tops of the list, but
Right.
he did other things in other categories. And that's interesting, man, because Tara Eason was a guy that apparently was on the Knicks radar for quite some time. And a lot of fans really were interested in him. It kind of trailed off as we got closer to the draft because I guess other names started to pop up. But,
Mhm.
Tara Eason is a defensive type player, one of those people that the Knicks could have used.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, he was one of those guys who we looked at closely. You know what I mean?
mhm.
And I know our guy D's Ballin was definitely high on Tyree Eason. And that would have been a great fit. Unfortunately, we didn't make it happen. Our front office decided to go in a different route. And so he is now with, Houston, and he's going to do great things over there in Houston. He's going to get the opportunity to play, significant minutes, which of course would only help his game, build him up as a player. Ain't no better development than actually playing in games, right? So he's going to learn fast, but he has all the tools. Um, and like you said, he's defensive minded. So, he's going to bring it on that side of the court as well. He's going to be a high plus minus guy, right? I could see him a
Mhm.
lot affecting the games, winning percentages and stuff like that. So it's going to be interesting to see.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree. Let me get this out of here. All right. So get that out of there. Go back to regularly scheduled programming here. Boom. All right. So yeah, I think that's some interesting stuff to kind of look at, and obviously when we get, we'll keep monitoring while the preseason is going on, but when we get into the regular season, we'll get a little bit more in depth. We'll start to highlight certain things. We'll get back into what you guys witnessed this past season, videos, highlights, things of that nature. We'll
Yeah.
put up certain stats and we'll make it what you're used to, but it's preseason, still early. We're still getting the kinks out, working on what's going to be new and these things. So stay tuned. That stuff is all be there, but we're not there yet.
We'll get there.
We will get there.
The one thing we do know about the NBA report, though, we're not really going to shift the sort of backdrop, right? So we like what we have here. We liked our intro music, so those things are going to stick. What we will do, though, is sort of shift in the way we sort of go through our segments.
Yeah, we'll definitely try to give you guys the best possible experience so that you can enjoy getting your NBA/Nick news
Right.
from the NBK network, man. So thank you guys for being here and rocking with us. I see. Thank you guys. 68 people here. Please hit that like button. Show your
Yeah,
love for NBK and still Nick fans. We in the building, man. Thank you
absolutely.
guys. Smash that like button.
And when you get a chance, share it out for more folks could join us while we're here live. We should be rocking with you guys for another what 45, maybe to an hour.
Yep. Sounds
So
about right. Sounds about right.
we in the
And yeah, we are definitely in the building. Shout out to DJ Space Ghost, Lions in the building, Agent Super Argo, JJ Zigzag Zagala is in the building. Pat
nice.
Jiggy. And let me tell you guys, man, I just want to I like to go through this and say what's up to you guys because you know what? I'm seeing a couple names that I don't always see in the chat, and that's a beautiful thing, man. So thank you guys for tuning in and making your voices heard in the chat. Appreciate y'all.
Yeah. Shout outs to Sim too. I see you on. Appreciate you.
Oh, that might be me.
Oh, that is you? Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
that's
Yeah,
me.
there you go. There you go. Well,
Shout
Sim is
out.
probably watching anyway.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
shout
Of
out to
course,
Sim.
of course, of course. Corey
Shout
Lee,
Powers.
shout out to you. Shout Powers in the building. What's good? G Robinson. As I said, JJ in the building. Salute. Yeah, man. I'm Mets. You know how it is. I don't want to talk. I don't want to think about it. It is what it is,
Hey,
man. It's
hey,
disgusting.
hey, hey,
Whatever.
we in there. We in there.
Ooh-wee. It's gonna be tough. Gonna be tough, man. But thank you guys, man. Thank you guys for tuning in. Appreciate y'all as always. Scotty P in the building. Salute. So I want to ask you this, John. What do you think about this? Because you know what? This is nothing crazy because they're going to be fine. They're a professional basketball team. They've been through everything. All they do is win, 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 no matter what.
Right.
The Golden State Warriors are having a little bit of infighting right now. For whatever reason, someone is feeling himself over there, and certain people are not liking it.
Right.
You know, I don't know what's going on with Jordan Poole, bro. I don't know what's happening. He's feeling a little froggy over there, and
So it's Jordan
apparently,
Poole, not Draymond.
no, it's Jordan Poole getting froggy and saying certain things in practice and warm ups and stuff like that to Draymond.
Right.
And Draymond did not take kindly to it. And
It's not.
apparently, it's not just him. Jordan Poole has come in like with a chip on his shoulder for whatever. He's like trying to show out. Maybe he's trying to take his game to the next level. I don't know.
He wants that contract, man.
Yeah,
He wants that contract.
I think that's what. Yeah, that's probably what it is, bro. That's probably
Right.
what it is. He wants that money.
Draymond has a contract coming up. Jordan
Mhm.
Poole has a contract coming up. There's been talks in the past that they were, they didn't quite mesh with each other on a regular like that anyway.
Mhm.
So, sometimes things get chippy in practice. At the end of the
Yeah.
day, somebody got mad enough to bring it publicly, right? And so that's the part that I dislike. It's like, yo, if you guys got infighting, keep it inside. You know what I mean? Knuckle up, whatever, put some gloves on, whatever, or not. Handle your business, shake hands, and move on.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? You don't gotta go to the media. You ain't gotta make it public. That to me is corny. But again, this is a new age. People are different. They aren't built like that like they used to be. So it's what it is.
It's true. Now, I don't know exactly what happened, what took place, but apparently, they started jawing a little bit and it got a little physical because, Draymond got a fuse. You light it, he starts to explode on you. Um, he apparently got a little physical. They didn't say exactly what happened,
Right.
but
It
that's,
looked like Jordan
something
Poole
happened.
got the worst of it though, right? Like,
That's the assumption. Yeah.
right.
Uh, And so I don't know what disciplinary action is going to happen. I do know that Green issued a statement. He apologized. He said, it's the NBA, it's professional sports. These things happen. Nobody likes it. We don't condone it. But, oh, no, I'm sorry. I apologize. That's what Myers said about the incident. Myers is, what is his title again? I don't know. Oh,
He's probably
general
like
manager.
basketball.
He's general manager. There it is.
I was
Yeah.
about to say
So,
either that or basketball operations, right? Somebody
so he's the
along those
general
lines.
manager. He said it's the NBA, it's professional sports. These things happen. Nobody likes it. We don't condone it, but it happened. Draymond apologized to the team this morning, apparently. Jordan was there in the room. I was there in the room, the team, the coaches, the players, and we heard that. So
That's right.
that's
Get over
coming
it.
from the general manager.
Hit him with a little fine, a small little suspension, couple of games. Not even a game. They shouldn't suspend him for games. They should just fine him a little bit just for his actions, and then let bygones be bygones. I mean, if everyone's that, I think that's an HR thing too, right? Like, so
Yeah,
maybe
probably. And yeah, because it sounds like from what they're saying is Myers said that they're going to handle it internally. So it's not an NBA thing. It's going to be strictly handled by the Warriors.
right.
So whether or not they suspend them, fine them, or whatever they're going to do, they'll decide to do that.
Right. But if anyone were to get shipped out, I don't see Draymond being that person. I think Draymond has played enough years to finish his tenure with the Golden State Warriors, retire a Golden State Warrior, unless they're deciding to go in a different direction. But as from what I could tell, you know, Curry, Thompson, they all respect what he brings to the game. Now, if it was vice versa and he was feeling himself, maybe they would check him. Maybe they would be the ones who'd be like, "Hey, you're out of line." You know what I mean? You continue these habits when we're shipping you out. You can't be a part of this group because it's really Curry's team. So
True. That's a 100% fact. And Curry, speaking of that, and that's how like Curry's a leader. He will step up and address things. He has no problem with answering to any questions.
right.
He said in reference to there was a specific tweet that was put out yesterday. Now, was this actually yesterday? I don't know. Either way, it was put out that said that JP, Jordan Poole's attitude or something has changed since he's been back in this training camp. And Curry said it's absolute BS. And Andre Iguodala addressed it as well with his tweet. We kind of leave it at that. JP's been great. So
Right.
I think they're just trying to deflect and diffuse everything. It is something, it's just internal thing. I think it's kind of one of those things where, Jordan Poole is just maybe, he's using a different type of fuel to get his game going. Maybe he's just going back and forth and trying to get the best out of himself. And in turn, he's saying some things in jest of playing with Draymond and the rest of his teammates. And there's some trash talking happening. Maybe he's just not that good at trash talking. Maybe he took it to the wrong level. I don't know.
Or maybe it's Draymond, right? Like
it could be. Maybe
be
he said,
great,
Draymond
right?
is like that. True.
So I'm saying, like, he probably says it could be the opposite, and Jordan Poole is just trying to defend himself and not going to stand for it because he's no longer a rookie, and he wants to be respected as a player that provides the same sort of thing that he feels Draymond. Like, it's the same, you know what I mean? Like, you come into your second year, third year with a team, and you just come off a championship. You want to put respect on my name. You know what I'm saying? Like, I put in the work. I deserve that. You know what I mean? So that could be it too.
That's a fact. I can see that too. You're right. Now, I don't know if it's true or not, but apparently Jordan Poole, they might have been going back and forth, and they said some things, and Jordan Poole called him a triple single. So like,
what does that mean?
It definitely doesn't mean he gets a triple double. So I don't know.
Wow.
I thought that was hilarious when I heard it. I was like, oh man.
Wow.
Sorry, B. I don't know. Sorry, Draymond.
That's
funny.
I
mean, that's funny. So it is what it is. Yeah, so okay. I mean, that's the Warriors, man. The funny thing is, all this stuff that happens with the Warriors, in the end, they're still going to be kicking people's butts. We're going to look at them in the playoffs. Right in the mix. We're going to see if anybody can stop them once again.
They just got deeper as a squad. Like Jonathan Kuminga, you know what I mean? Wiseman,
Moody,
bro. That team is deep.
I forgot the name of the kid that they drafted. He might be Latin or Spanish. That shoots threes. Like they just keep getting
deep.
Everybody, bro.
Deep. I mean, not for nothing. Our Knicks team. When I was watching that first game, I was like, I like seeing the 10, 11 deep. We got nice pieces. It's good to see. It's not like we got that. We got pro players on our team. I like that.
Mm-hmm. It's nice to see that stuff when you can go that deep. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. I don't know.
Even that 12th man off the bench, what's his Jalen Harris had a little bounce to him. I was like, oh, that's what I'm talking about.
All right. Don't give him too much. Save it. We're gonna get into the Knicks in a little bit, guys. Don't you worry. We will not forget about these New York Knickerbockers, man. There's some stuff to talk about. Right. So like I said, the Warriors will be fine. It is what it is. It's just life. It's NBA basketball at its finest. Another thing that happened that took place is that, Tyler Herro got the bag, man. Tyler Herro got his money.
Congratulations, man.
Salute to him.
To the young man.
Yeah, man. Salute to him. Salute to Tyler Herro. I don't know if it's I don't know the direction that they think that they want to go in. But I feel like, at least at this point, we know that he fits into their plans.
Yeah. And look, you after it's all said and done, they need a player like him to be able to facilitate and score buckets, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can't have that many playmakers on your team. Like he's sort of a playmaker type of player, right? He's someone who could handle the rock. You can facilitate off of his game. He could come off the bench, get you shots up. You know what I mean? So he's very versatile in his skill level. I think that's a great signing for them. 130. Some would say that may be a little high, but whatever.
It's actually it's 120 with 10 million in incentives.
Okay, so that's dope.
It's not bad. It's
at the end of the day, he's going to earn it, right? He's got to earn that what he's making. The last 10, you know what I mean? He's going to have to earn it, and I'm sure he'll do it.
Yeah, it's interesting. So my question is, some people said this. I heard this being mentioned. What do you feel about the whole thing about them giving that type of money to Hero when Hero's role for Miami has been that of a sixth man? Do you think that's the type of money you want to give to? Not saying that. I mean, technically, Hero's got starters game, but he just doesn't
Yeah.
come. He comes off the bench. So what do you think? You think that matters at all?
No, because it's about who ends the games, right?
Hmm.
It's about who ends the games down the stretch. And if he's a player who you want to be on the court to help end games and win games, then you pay him the money. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? And I just want to remind everybody who's on the chat, we are Knicks fans, but this is the NBA report, so we gotta talk about other teams. Just don't kill us. But we will talk Knicks towards the back end of this program.
Yes, we will. Yes, we will. Uh, uh, I see you, Lions. He said, "Y'all know Draymond is a bully." That's a fact. He is. He he is. But you
But
know,
also a dog, right? So he's the one who's gonna go to war with you. So
I agree. I agree. Yeah. So my whole thing is, am I happy for Hero? Definitely. I definitely think he deserves the money. Good for him. Everybody should get paid. You know what I mean? The NBA is a billions of dollars in
that's a
revenue
fact.
they make. They should pay their players. So
They
because
make
the
it on the
owners are going to
backs of
get
the
theirs.
players. They make it on the
Right.
backs of those players. So yeah, absolutely.
My thing um is this the new amount, like over 100 million? Is that the new amount for these type of players? Like in the past, it's just different because everything's changed. Money is different now. The NBA is a booming enterprise, so it's making a lot of money. In the past, a guy who did everything on the court wouldn't even sniff 100 million. You know what I mean? Things have just changed so much. So the question is, and not just for Tyler Hero, it's for RJ and guys who are on the lower end of that $100 million range. Do they do enough on the court to warrant that amount of money? Like Jalen Brunson got a $100 million contract as well, but he does different things on the court. Even at
Mhm.
his size that is lower, he does certain things. So, and he's a point guard, and like point guards are kind of looked at like the quarterback of a basketball
Right.
team. So it's a different look. I'm just interested in seeing what do you think that this is the right, like the kind of the right amount of money to give a certain player of that stature?
Yeah, you got to add in inflation, right? You
Hmm.
you know everything's gone up over the last few years. You know, like you said, the NBA is doing really well for itself. It's gotten more viewerships than it ever has. They're going overseas. They're playing overseas, right? So the market is there for these players to make, the most money that they can make, and I think that's important because they the ones, it's their play that makes folks go out and buy jerseys,
Right.
buy subscriptions, and stream their favorite team or follow their favorite player, right? So I think it's warranted. I think it's important that the Players Association understands that and they continue to lift, the wages for these players, even though they're making an obscene amount. It's what the market is. You know what I mean? I would just, I would be hating if I said otherwise. You know what I'm saying?
Right. No,
So
and that makes sense. I'm totally in agreement with that. I just want to ask the question to see what you think, like what's your opinion about it. And I think most people would agree. Like, I mean, there's a lot of money to be made, and people are making the money. So why shouldn't the players make the money as well? I mean, because the owners are definitely getting it. So,
which is one of the reasons why fans want the players that they root for to play hard and
hmm,
not take a minute off, right? Or
right,
not get complacent or make it about themselves because at the end of the day they're getting paid a really you know they're getting paid more than most people, right? More
right.
than the average person. So be grateful and appreciative and go out and play hard. Um, you know what I mean? And play hard for your team. And then when there's something that comes up that maybe, you know, some that may need some social awareness attention,
Hmm.
speak truth to power, right? Speak
Right,
on it. You know what I
right.
mean? And use use your platform for the betterment of the betterment of the people. You know what I mean? And people who are underserved and don't have a voice. So
Mm-hmm. That's facts. Shout out to Paris Doug. Appreciate you as always. He said RJ is getting paid for his professionalism and his projected upside. I see upside.
100%.
Yes.
Yep.
Agreed. And sometimes that plays into it, man, because you know what? Not only do you want players on your team that can ball, you also want players that represent your brand.
Hmm.
Yeah, you gotta,
Right.
gotta take that all into account. Shout out to hold on, Reaper Man, appreciate you. He said, "I'm digging the show. What's the schedule?" Well, we're on every Thursday night at 8 p.m. Tonight's show started a little late, like I said, because there was some things going on, so we started at 8:30. But normally, you would find us on at 8 p.m. every Thursday night on the NBK network. And if you're not familiar with us, Ron, John, and Jose of Still Nick fans, our show also, we have our own show, Still Nick fans, that airs on Monday nights at 9 p.m. And we also have another show on Saturdays where we invite people to jump on the panel called Know the Ledge. And that's at Saturday at 11 a.m. every Saturday. So that's our schedule: Monday, Thursday, Saturday. Appreciate you, man. Thank you for tuning in and jumping in the chat. Um, Yeah, I don't know, Craig. You know what? They're gonna have some growing pains, some ups and downs over there in Brooklyn. Especially, I gotta see. Honestly, I gotta see how they're gonna make this work. And I don't know how you feel about this, John. I think I was talking about this before. I don't know if we spoke about it before. I was definitely speaking about it with someone else.
Yeah.
We might have already talked about it. But how do you think they're gonna use um Ben Simmons? Because I mean, we know that he obviously can handle the rock. He's been a point guard,
Yeah.
having
Point
that
forward.
point forward role. But where do you actually play him that works for him? Because he's not a defensive liability. But then again, you can't necessarily have this guy banging with the big centers of the NBA. Like, what do you do here with this guy?
I think you play them on the best and defensively. If they're smart, they play him against the best wing offensive player on the other side, right? You don't like if you're playing against Embiid or Jokic, you ain't putting them against those guys. Like it would, unless you're switching, right? If you switch and he's stuck on him, then so be it. But you're not trying to match him up with those bigger guys. Um,
Mm-hmm.
he could hold his own,
Mm-hmm.
but for the most part, you want to take away those wings or those point guards of the opposing team. So then it makes it harder on on them to score. And then you can get out in fast breaks and then, transition. And once you have him in that point forward position, it's basically an outlet, and it's between him and Durant. It's like three steps and they're past half court. You know what I'm saying? So like it's so difficult to guard a team of that size and athleticism. Plus they got the scoring and the shooting with Harris. They have the Australian kids, Patty Mills there. They brought in the kid from Portland.
Oh,
Royce the 5'9"? No.
uh, Royce O'Neal.
There you go.
They brought him from the Jazz.
Royce O'Neal.
And they also got Seth Royce the 5'9". They also got Seth Curry.
Right.
Still,
I should have said Royce the he's 6'7", 6'6".
right? Yeah, yeah. So
Royce O'Neal, right?
Yeah, so I mean, they're interesting team that has and don't forget they picked up in the sneaky signing this guy from Indiana Pacers, TJ Warren.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean they got some players over there. It's just I just don't know, man. I do think like what you said, you can definitely use Ben Simmons to guard whoever the best player is on the opposing team for the most part, except for like those big bigs like Joel Embiid and Jokic, stuff like that. But I wouldn't be surprised, which I think he's done in the past when he was with the Sixers, if he guards like Giannis Antetokounmpo, guys of that nature,
100%.
and he can guard smaller guys. Like he's the type of guy that's has enough skill that he can match up with an Anthony Edwards, and I don't know if he'll lock him down, but he's going to make it tough for him. So
but
yeah,
he will have his moments where he will take that offensive threat away.
right.
And that's the key for that squad. Knowing that you don't have to exert Kyrie on the defensive end, who he doesn't like to play defense anyway, but also Durant, right? They
Mm-hmm.
don't even have to focus their energy on that side. They just have to be close to their guy and play, team defense. He could take care of the one-on-one matchup against, like I said, the opposing team's best scorer. You know what I mean? Especially if they're a wing player or a point guard. Like for instance, if they match up against Cleveland, I mean, you could see him switching, getting in front of Garland at times and getting
Mm-hmm.
in front of Mobley and
Mm-hmm.
keeping those guys sort of, you're keeping them, at an unrest, you know what I mean? Where they don't know who's coming at them. But once you
Right.
have Simmons, then you're trying to like find a new option. You know what I'm saying? So
No, that makes sense. That makes sense. I think that it's very interesting to see what
our health
how
for
it
that.
all.
It's
Yeah.
our health. Who is his back gonna hold up? Is he gonna stay healthy? Is his mental gonna hold up? Is that gonna be healthy? Is Kyrie's mental gonna hold up? You know what I mean? Is he gonna stick around for an entire season? I mean, if both those guys plus Durant are able to play 62 plus games, you gotta expect them to be one or two, right, in the
Mm-hmm.
East. Like it just doesn't make sense for them not to be. But again, the history shows what it shows, and they haven't been the guys who will be around for that many games. And you know, maybe that team is thinking about, okay, how do we save these guys for a playoff push? You know what I mean? Which is one of the reasons why you have to build a team around them. And I think Durant was right by saying, if I'm not playing, everyone on the squad needs to find a way to win. And it doesn't matter about who's on the court. That's what good teams do. They find ways to win, and
True.
he's 100% right.
Yeah. I'm definitely going to be looking to see some of the Ben Simmons highlights because I'm also interested to see if he still has that same defensive prowess that he had because of his back issues and stuff. Can he move the same? Because the other thing is, what if his best trait of being a defensive stopper is not there? It makes
Right,
him look a lot different. Because I did see that highlight of him shooting that turnaround fadeaway, which was horrible. That
right,
was a bad look. So
right, right.
we'll see.
But again, it's
Um,
it's, it's not really about his offensive game because you just want to
right.
get a guy. If healthy, you want to get out. We want to get a player like that on the open court. He could see the court. He's got good court vision. He's going to make other players better by just giving them an opportunity to have open shots. If
Hmm.
he's driving to the rim and you can't stop that, that's just it just makes it difficult on the rest of the team, right? Like it makes it easier for the rest of the team to run with him. Um, so I mean, but it's a catch-22, right? He has to stay healthy and everything has to work itself out.
That's 100% facts. Very true. Shout out to a couple more people. I see you, D Cooler 718, Mets, Knicks fans. Let's go. Heck Breezo in the building. Kareem Grant is here. What up, twin? Bo Ismail is in the building. Shout out to Sherwin. And Sherwin, I understand your point. He said, it's a lot of money to pay a guy who doesn't really play defense. That's true. Um,
Who doesn't play defense?
a Tyler Hero.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I hear you. Sherwin's big on defense, man.
Yeah, I
He's
get it. But like that's the going rate right now. So you know what I
yeah.
mean? I mean, some would say that RJ tries to play defense. He doesn't play really good defense.
Which I think Sherwin would agree with that as well.
Right.
Shout out to Chet Nick in the building. Appreciate you, man. Thank you for being here. Um, I think Bo Ismail said something that I was going to. Yes, he said the Kings drafted Rookie of the Year in Keegan Murray. Just saying. Listen,
It's a good
he
pick.
might be. He might be
Good
that
pick.
guy, bro. Keegan looks good. Keegan looks
Yeah,
good.
yes, he
Yeah.
does. And he showed it.
Um,
He showed it in summer league. He wasn't playing. He was like, "I'm showcasing my game right now. Expect to see this when we start the season." Yeah, Keegan Murray is the real deal.
Shout out to the Kings, man, because they wanted Keegan Murray from the day one,
Jump from
and
jump.
they stood their ground and made sure that they wasn't letting you trade up, trade down, whatever you want. Nope, we're getting our guy. So good for them. Good for them. Kings need a they if there's certain teams that have had a bad run in the NBA for for many years, and Sacramento fits that bill. Outside of the Knicks, Sacramento is one of those teams. They've struggled as well, so good for them. And you also brought up another one. You know what? That one's tough. That one's tough, Bo Ismail. He said Mavs drafted Jaden Hardy, who looks like a baller. Yes, he does. Yeah,
I'm
he
telling you,
does.
this year, this pool, and when they remember the start of the season or the end of the season, everyone was talking about this draft class not being that deep. This draft class is deep. Like, they were good. There's some good ball players in this draft class. You know what I mean? Guys who, are coming out mid-tier, like mid-selection, somewhere around the 15, 20. Even Ben, what's his name? Ben Mathurin. He got busy. You know what I mean? Like, there's some players who, people slept on. They slept on them.
Yeah, it's very true. And unfortunately, Jaden Hardy was drafted in the second round, pick number 37, which means at some point the New York Knicks could have drafted him. I just want to throw that out there.
Yeah,
all right. I don't.
But listen, man. We went with Keels. We know what we were doing. Just saying. No. Let's be real. Let's come on. Keels is that guy.
Okay. So, guys, if you wondered why John hasn't been here recently, this is part of the reason. No, man. Hopefully, Trevor Keels turns out to be a serviceable, adequate player in the NBA. He's still very young. I think when he was drafted, he was 18. I don't know if he's 19 now. I don't know his birthday, but he's still a very young kid. So we don't know exactly what he will be. I don't know right now if I can see him being someone who's long-term with the Knicks, because of just where we're stacked at.
Right.
We're loaded at that position with players, and we're trying to figure out how to play them. So where does Keel fit in at any point? And plus, these guys are young, so they're going to have some staying life. They'll always be ahead of him. And then if you want to get real, forget that. You got that issue. And then you got, and then you also got another player overseas, Rokas Jokibitis. So
I don't see him coming in either.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what's going on. I don't know.
Because every year you're going to have draft picks come in. You know what I'm saying? And then, not to mention, we got 11 still, have not traded any. So we got so many picks in the next couple of years. You're always going to have more talent come in. So those kids either have to develop very fast and find their place in the NBA, or they just become role players or bench players to play with the practice squad.
Right.
You know what I mean? Or find work overseas. I mean, that's not wrong with that. You get paid.
Yeah, it's true. And we've got we still have in this next upcoming draft, 2023 draft, we still have 4 or 5 picks. It's at least, I think it's 5. So I want to say it's 2 first-round picks and 3 second-round picks. But even if it's 2 first round and 2 second, that's definitely, it's one or the other. So yeah. So it's gonna be interesting.
And if all don't pan out and we ain't winning, Wembenyama.
Yeah, the Wembenyama. Shout out to my guy from Jazz Nation. The Wembenyama Rama is what I think he coined the phrase.
Wembenyama Rama.
I'm like, all right, it's like a derby. People are feeling it right now. And speaking of Wembenyama, folks, let me tell you something. This doesn't always happen. Sometimes you look for a certain matchup, especially with 2 young guys who aren't in the NBA, and you're trying to see if they're real, and it's about the hype and all this stuff. Let me tell you something. This matchup between Victor Wembanyama and Scoot Henderson was everything advertised.
Right.
Those 2 guys were going at it. A really good game by both of them. Shout out to them, man. Shout out to them, because that was fantastic. I would love to watch the whole game. I only saw some of the highlights. And I feel like I missed something.
It reminded me of a Rucker game where you have your 2 elite players on each side and everyone's giving them the rock and moving out the way. I'm like, where's the rest of the squad? Like, it's a team game. It's supposed to be a team game. Every time down the court, it was like, okay, spread it out, let them rock. It was weird. It was weird.
Yeah, I mean, listen, man, it was definitely entertaining. You could say that. Henderson scored 28 points and led his team. They finished 122 to 115 victory. Wembenyama had 37 points. And they were just going back and forth against each other. Wembanyama was going back and forth like a little bit more with other guys because he's a taller guard, taller person to guard, meaning so
he plays like a guard, right?
Yeah, he does actually.
Yeah,
but Scoot took it to him a couple times, especially that one move where he crossed over his guy. Then he crossed over Victor, went to the hoop and laid it up reverse style with the right hand. That was very nice. Very nice.
I see you. Scoot's your guy, huh?
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie to you. Listen, Scoot Henderson, New York Knicks. No, but anyway, it may not happen. Okay, but I would love it to happen. Like, don't get me wrong. If the Knicks somehow wound up with Wembanyama, would I be mad? No, I just don't think it would ever happen. I don't think they'll ever get Scoot, but it'd be nice.
Right, it would be.
Yeah, it was definitely a nice battle. And I'm looking forward to seeing what both those young guys continue to do. Those might be the next two transitional players to join the NBA. Now, what I want to see is who else is out there that is going to be good in this upcoming draft that makes sense for teams, especially the New York Knicks, who have still yet to hit on that transitional type talent. Is there going to be somebody they can hit on?
Right.
I mean, they haven't since Patrick Ewing, right?
And that was handed to us, right?
Correct. So that's a long time ago. So speaking of these New York Knickerbockers, guys, I want to say I was pleasantly surprised, very happy with how the rotations and everything looked in this first preseason game versus the Detroit Pistons. I'm not overly excited that they won. I'm not overly excited that they blew them out because it's preseason. These teams are all starting to get to know each other. The Knicks have more chemistry than Detroit, so they should gel faster. Detroit's still working on things. The other thing is we watched the Knicks look like, if you remember, John, last year, that first preseason game, the Knicks looked like they were the Golden State Warriors. So yeah, I'm not taking that.
You remember that?
Right.
It was like Kev was Kev was changing everything for us. And not only that, though, the start of our season was like that as well. Remember, we won like 4 straight, and then we were all rocking. We were like 50 burger, 54.
I jumped out that window, B.
All of us did, B. Like, it was crazy. It was crazy. And slowly but surely, it just, to our own demise. We started losing games against Orlando. And it was like, oh, really? Like, this is what is. Like, we thought it was just a fluke, and then it became like, this is what the season's going to turn out to be. Yeah, I'm not doing that this year. I'm not jumping out no windows, no ledges. I'm good. I'm sticking to my 30+ wins, and I'm calling it a day.
Let me just put this in the chat.
I think I said 40 wins. I think I'm at 40 wins.
Did you go 40?
Right? You at 42?
Oh no, I'm at 43.
Oh, you moved it up a bit.
I know. I was 45. I was at 45. I dropped it down to 43.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah. I'm going with 43.
I want all of y'all in the chat just to hold them accountable.
Hold me accountable.
On me, man. He said 45. I heard 42. Now I hear 43. What's going on?
I'm a habitual flip-flopper. That's what you're saying?
You like those LeBron fans, wherever he go.
Oh man, I got to get it together, bro. I don't want to be that guy. Shout out to LeBron though. Appreciate it, man. Very good talent there. Yeah, all right. I just put that in the chat. Damn it. Let me do it one more time because it doesn't show. It doesn't give you like it pops up. Let me do that again. Boom. There we go. All right. So to Reapermen, there is our YouTube channel for Still Knick fans. Nice. Appreciate you, man. Thank you. If you want to subscribe to that, by all means, man, we appreciate the support, and hopefully we can have you in the chat at some of the shows. And like I said, on the weekends, on Saturday, at 11 a.m. We welcome everybody to jump on the panel and be able to chop it up and talk Knicks with us.
100%.
Or with me, whoever's on.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, man. So thank you. Shout out to Keith Turner. I see you. Appreciate you. Thank you for being here. Let me start this comment. I'm gonna get back to you, Angel. I see your comment. Shout out to D Grant. He said, before we get more heavy into the Knicks, he said if Jordan Poole wants out of Golden State, should the Knicks jump on a possible trade? Well, this kind of leads into the Knicks, right? So that works. Absolutely. There's not even a question. There's no thought about it. I think we got whatever they need to get Jordan Poole over here. Now, you don't want to give them the Donovan Mitchell ransom, but you can give them something that they can use, and it's not going to hurt your team because you're loaded. You got 11 first-round picks, and you've got 10 second-round picks. There's no reason.
Away from?
I don't care. I'd rather get them in here, and I get them in here. And
you're moving Barrett. You can't move.
No,
Barrett. He just got
no. I wouldn't.
But
move
I'm saying,
Barrett,
who would you? How would you utilize the Jordan Poole with this current roster? Off the bench, 6-man.
No, I'd actually make Jordan Poole a starter.
Really?
Yes.
Alongside Jalen Brunson?
Yep. Because he gives you that 3-point shooting, and he can get to the rim anytime he wants.
How tall is Jordan Poole?
I think he's 6'4".
Okay.
Let me double check that. Jordan Poole. I'll find out right now.
He's a thin frame, 6'4", right? So, but he is a dynamic scorer.
Yes, he is 6'4". That's 6'4". Correct.
Okay. I can see that.
So what I would do is, I'll be honest, if we were able to bring in Jordan Poole,
ship out.
Do I need Emmanuel quickly?
No,
probably not.
Right.
Would I try to keep Quentin Grimes? Yeah, keep Quentin Grimes to bring him off the bench.
If you can.
But Cam would probably be gone. So I don't know.
Right.
I think we'd figure out a way to make it work. But Jordan Poole is definitely worth it. Jordan Poole could be something really special in the league going forward. Once he really gets comfortable and becomes like he's a guy who fills in nicely for Golden State. They can, whenever these guys are without Clay or Steph, he fills in perfectly. But what if he's a part of a team where he's one of the guys? I think Jordan Poole will do some really special things. So to answer your question, D Grant, I'm like, yes, without a doubt.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I'm riding with you.
Okay. All right. So yeah, back to the Knicks. So I think what impressed me the most, one was Hartenstein. Like seeing him actually do it for us was nice because seeing him do it with the Clippers is one thing, but seeing him in a Knick uniform doing it, fantastic. Seeing that he's gritty, he's got like nice stones, man, nice guts, and then he went out there and knocked down 2 threes. I thought that was great. Seeing him stretch the floor. I wasn't surprised at Jalen Brunson because I expect him to do what he did. I think he's a fantastic player. I think Knick fans are going to love him. And I think that I already saw on Twitter, there was some Knick fans that were hating on Jalen that were starting to come around. They were like, you know what? I believe he looks good. Now I see what people are talking about. So I think people are going to learn to really like him. The other thing is that I was happy about that John had mentioned earlier. Tibbs opened up the rotation bag. Now, I know it's preseason, so I don't know if you can believe that he's going to continue to do this. But it looked good while he did it. You know what I mean?
Only going to happen in the preseason.
I don't know. This is more than we saw remember last preseason? He came out and played it like it was the first game of the regular season.
And I think he did that on purpose because all these kids were rookies, right?
Right.
So now that they're second-year players, he's gonna sort of allow the leash to sort of, he's going to let that leash extend a little further, giving these kids more opportunities to show their skills, to show what they've done in the offseason, see if they're, if their stock can rise for other teams that may be watching. Because I don't think the Knicks are not going to deal before the end of the season, before the end of the trade deadline, right? I think at some point they're going to look at the team, they're going to assess the team and see, are there moves that we can make? Can we get interest in some of our players that we have on our bench or deep in our roster? For instance, like a Harris, right? That kid, he shows a little bounce. He played with Toronto, I believe, right? So he showed a little bounce. Didn't really have that much, to showcase with his time in Toronto. But if he gets an opportunity to showcase his game in the preseason, why not? There may be teams that may be looking for a point guard / shooting guard who can defend and rebound the ball. You know what I mean? So, like even Grimes, I mean not Grimes, Deuce is also playing for looks. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Um, Especially if they don't, if they decide to keep IQ. You know what I mean? He's sort of behind IQ in the progress, right? So he's unless D Rose finds his way out of the league, you know what I mean? Then IQ won't get his chance. You know what I'm saying? To come off the bench because now we have Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson's going to be here for the future. So,
Right.
it becomes that who's going to take over, those spot minutes when when the time comes. Um, it's really
Yeah.
what it comes down to because Grimes is going to play into some minutes, and Cam is trying to play into some minutes right now. And unfortunately, he gets hurt, but he may have another opportunity.
Hmm. So, was there anything that surprised you that you were like, I didn't expect that, or just a pleasant surprise, like from a player or something?
I wouldn't say a surprise. What I liked, I'll tell you what I liked. I liked that there was good communication on the defensive side of the ball, right? Because that's where we know we are. Once we create that identity now moving forward,
Hmm.
that is what's gonna stick. That's what's gonna stay. You know what I mean? And I love that that opportunity happened. I love that they're giving the opportunity to Fournier for that reason alone. You know what I mean? Let's see what he can do defensively, not necessarily offensively, because you know what he brings, but defensively, can he mix with the guys that we have on the court, the starting unit? You know what I mean? I like iHeart coming in. You see him chatting away. He's speaking. He's being vocal on the defensive side. Even on the offensive side, you see him moving guys, calling out his picks, and those are the things that matter, you know what I mean? And that helping build a good chemistry there. I like what they've talked about in the off season. I love D Rose coming out and just being, talking about his leadership and his role this year, and what he expects from himself and others. He's talking about accountability, and it's about showing and improving, right? Um, so I like all those things. Again, I'm not jumping out the window. I'm not gonna talk 50 burger. You know what I mean? I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep it steady. I'm gonna stick with, like I said, I'm hoping for a 42 wins, a 40 win season. I'm hoping for a 40 win season, and then we'll see where it goes from there.
That makes sense to me. I can rock with that, man. I understand. I understand. We did that last year. No need to be jumping out the window this time around. Let's watch how it plays out. We kind of know a little bit more about this Nick team. We definitely know a little bit more about Tibbs, and we
Right.
know Tibbs is what Tibbs is. No matter what we think, Tibbs is always still gonna be what Tibbs is gonna be. So,
Amen. Rotation, baby. Here we
hey,
go.
man. But maybe nine. Maybe nine.
Maybe pushing
Maybe
it,
nine. Yeah,
pushing it.
yeah. We'll see. We'll see.
Depends
But
on
hey,
who's in foul trouble, right?
but hey, listen, maybe what happens for him is that he expands a little bit on the rotation just because he witnesses that the guys on the team have more talent, and especially on the defensive end. Because bringing in a guy like Hardenstein who can give you some offensive, stuff, a little extra game, but he's solid on the defensive end. Maybe you say he's a guy I definitely want to get in there more. I don't know. It just depends on. I think it all depends on how these guys practice and if they continue to play the defense he likes. Because I
Right,
think that's the key. If you got 10 guys and they're all playing solid defense on this team, those 10
right,
guys are going to get in there for Tibbs. It's just when they're not all playing the defense, that may be another thing where he starts to shorten that rotation. So
right. You know what I do like though, and to start the preseason, what he did was he didn't the first person off the bench wasn't D Rose or
right,
quickly. The first
right,
three that came off the bench was Cam, Obi, and iHeart.
yeah, yeah.
That's progression in my eyes.
Hmm.
That's someone who's looking at his roster as a whole and saying, I want to see, I know what these kids can do. I know what D Rose and IQ can do. I want to see what this trio coming in, keeping Brunson in, keeping RJ in, and seeing what they could provide along with those two starters. You know what I mean? I love that idea. Again, it's creating identity, creating positivity. Understand. Again, we could lose the next one, right? So can't jump crazy. We like what we see,
Right.
We got to see if that continues. No, we got a game tomorrow. Looking forward to that. Seeing if that same energy still is still there, and folks are buying in. And if they buy in, and that was, at some point start creating a culture here that we've been wanting, for the last decade, if not more.
That's a fact. Very true. Yeah, I'm with you on that, man. That makes a lot of sense to me. That's the best way to look at things. Very sound, very smart. Let it play out, understand what it is, and just, we'll take it from there. If something happens, say, and we get into the regular season and these Knicks get off to a really good start, unexpected. They knock off a couple teams that maybe people thought they wasn't going to win. They play very strong basketball and get wins that they are supposed to get, and just have come out of that first 20 very solid with a nice record that's 500 or better. Or maybe if it's just below 500, maybe they're 9-11 through 20. That's a very good sign for this Knick team, and something we can latch on to and say, okay, this could be a really good season for us at least.
Yeah, I mean,
Solid.
at the end of the day, we're gonna run into a stretch where we're gonna play, where we would have to play above our competition in order to stay relevant in the East, because
Hmm.
we have a tough schedule. We walked through it before the season started, like maybe during the off season. We talked about that schedule once they showed it. The Knicks got a tough road ahead of them, especially those winter months, right? January, though that January, that road trip to the West, it's a tough one. So we got to start gelling early and often. Shout
I hear you. I
out
hear
to
you.
Keith Turner, who talked about, I think he was speaking on behalf of Jordan Poole's contract. Him obviously will be up for a contract, saying that we wouldn't be able to trade for him because we wouldn't have the money or the space for him. I get it. This is sort of us just bantering about if there is a potential possibility or something like that. We
Hmm.
didn't look at it that closely. But Jordan Poole is another one who would probably ask for a max, right? 130.
Hmm.
And deservedly so.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, that would be definitely an issue. Where would the Knicks be able to get that money? Listen, that is where you figure out a way to be creative. Even if it has to be like a 3-team deal or something, it has to be closer to the trading deadline where there's a need for players. Maybe at that point Fournier has a solid season for us, and we say, listen, Jordan Poole's an upgrade, so we move Fournier because that's money coming off the books
You
that
got to
could be
match the
put
money for
towards.
sure.
Yeah, you got to match the money, and also think about freeing up enough money going forward. So that's why you probably have to get a third team involved to do something like that. No matter what,
Right,
if you want to keep retain his rights going forward. So
right.
we'll see. But that's all hypothetical. We'll see what happens. Because I honestly know at some point they're not going to be able to keep one of those guys. Wiggins or Poole, one of them is going to have to go. It's
Right.
just they just don't have enough money to keep both of them, and both of those guys get what they think they deserve going
Yeah.
forward. So, anyway, so shout out to HP Carlos in the building. Salute to you, my man. Appreciate you. Thank you for being here. He's like, Nets versus Heat are boring. Yeah, man. It's preseason. Some of these games probably not the are not the move right now, but hey, man, at least NBA basketball is being played. Um, Angel Torres said, Ron, did you notice that Tibbs played the zone like for a couple minutes in the second quarter? That was a surprise for me. I honestly, I had a lot going on, so I was kind of keeping my eye on the game, and I was doing something at the same time, so I might have missed it. Did you notice that, John?
Yeah. There was a couple of little things, nuances that they
Mm,
were bringing a little differently than they've done in the past. But again, it's just knowing your personnel, right?
mm-hmm,
These kids have an extra year under their belt. They should have been, all aware of the playbook, dissecting it, going over it with their coaching, with the coaches. Just it's something you're able to do. You're able to add little pieces here and there. The more years that you have the ability to coach with the same sort of squad. And right now, seeing that there weren't that many changes done, you can see the sort of progression that the kids bring onto the team. Is it sustainable? Is it real? I don't know. We got to wait and see. We got to see if these kids are what everyone says they are, right? We got to see what the coaches are supposedly seeing in Grimes and in
Right.
Duke, and so I like
Yeah.
that Cam was out there, and Cam has said he's willing to. He's putting it out on the line. He's playing for minutes. He knows it. He's going to put that effort. In. He knows what he brings offensively. He's going to bring it defensively. He's going to be in everyone's face. So he's really. These guys are really playing for their minutes. You know what I mean? And that's important to see. And Tibbs, even though Grimes is out with an injury, he showed that next man up approach, right? Like, all right, one of our guys is out. Next man up is you.
Mm-hmm.
Can come in, play your game. Now he's done. He's out, and so is Grimes, right? So they may not even play tomorrow, and then you have Harris is the next man up. Jalen Harris, you got an opportunity, showcase your game, or even Deuce, because you could even be interchangeable with Deuce.
Yeah. Yeah, that is a good sign. That's a good sign. Shout out to Quality Jumper, Marvin Smith in the building, Jay Boogie in the building. He says, shout out to the chat panel. Blessings, health, and safety this season already. It's up. The electricity is out. It's about to be some shocking going on. Salute, salute, salute with the 3 capital S's. Thank you, Jay
Sir.
Boogie. Appreciate you, brother. Yeah, man. It's it's a new season. There's no need to look at what we don't got. Let's look at what we do have and the good that can come from this. This is a brand new team in essence. It's a clean slate, as Leon Rose said. So let's go from there, man. We'll see what happens.
Right.
Yeah, man. So listen, guys. This has been a pleasure once again to be out here chopping it up, talking NBA stuff with you guys and talking on New York Knicks as well. Thank you guys for tuning in. As I said, we're going to continue to give you more and more information as it comes forward. Going forward with the NBA, we'll get back into things the way you're used to seeing them. When the regular season kicks off, it should be really fun. I can't wait.
Right.
So definitely stay tuned and appreciate your support. Always rocking with us. John, as always, it's a pleasure, brother. I get a
Always.
smile. Look.
You already know. You already know. We're back in the building.
There we go.
Batman
there
and
we
Robin.
Go. That's right. There you go. Hey, man, any final words?
As always, thank you to everybody in the chat. Stay blessed out there. Looking forward to the next one.
There you go. And salute to David L. Appreciate you, brother. Salute to my guy, Divine, Knicks Real Talk, man. If y'all haven't checked out Knicks Real Talk with my man Divine and Shaw Powers, and then also, when he's available, because he's got a lot going on with his businesses and stuff. KJW in the building. Salute to those guys, man. Knicks Real Talk, man. Dope show. Definitely shout out to them. Go check them out if y'all haven't done it already, man. Yeah. So, thank you guys. Shout out to everybody in the chat, all the viewers rocking with us. Appreciate you guys being here. As I always say, tell a friend who tells a friend who tells another friend. Still Knick fans and MBK. We'll be back again. So thank you guys, man. Continue to look forward to our shows next Thursday at 8 p.m. or every Thursday at 8 p.m. if you want to look at it that way. Know the Ledge, Still Knick fans on Saturdays at 11 a.m. and the SKF Weekly Show on Monday nights at 9 p.m. The Three Musketeers, La Tres Musqueritos, Jose, John, Ron.
That's right. That's right. And Craig, I promise, man, there's a warrant out for me, but I'm going to make myself known. I'm going to be around. I'm going to be around. Ron, you got me, right? You got to keep
I got you. Yeah, I'm going to keep, man, I'm going to have to sell a kidney, or maybe I'll have to start selling bloods to the blood banks. Whatever I got to do, man. Yeah, as Quiet Money says, Tango and Cash.
Yes, sir.
Salute,
I like
brother.
that. I like that
Appreciate
better than
you.
Batman and Robin. Tango and
there
Cash.
You go. Tango and Cash. What's good, Quiet Money? Good to see you, man. And guys, for those who just might have tuned in recently or right now, please feel free to watch that replay. I think this was another good show. Thank you guys for being here and rocking with us. Salute to y'all. Hit that like button on your way out, man. Show your love. Thanks. We appreciate y'all. Yeah, man. I'm looking forward. Oh, also, I almost forgot. So tomorrow night, as John said, the Knicks have another game against the Indiana Pacers. And And so that is, tomorrow night at 7:30. Any quick expectations for tomorrow night's game? Anything you're looking forward to seeing?
I just want to rinse and repeat, man, of what we've seen last game. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to see these guys come in, building that unity, letting the ball, not stick into their hands, any one
Mhm.
individual hands, and play team basketball and play really solid defensively. That's it. That's all we asking. That's all I'm asking for.
Yeah, that sounds good, man. Tomorrow is going to be a nice little preseason test for them because, unlike Detroit, I feel like Indiana has some players that have a little bit more, you know, NBA play under their belt. You're going to go up against the Tyler Halliburton. I don't know if if their center is healthy, but you know.
Okay.
Yeah, what the hell? In the classic Ron and John moment, always forgetting somebody's name.
You
Indiana
talking about
Pacers.
Turner?
Yeah, Miles Turner. I'm like, yeah, geez. Yeah, I don't know if Miles Turner is going to be playing, but we'll see. Yeah, so there's going to be players. Duarte, interested in seeing how Ben
Duarte looked
Mathurin
good,
looks.
man. Ben Duarte and our guy Halliburton.
Mm-hmm.
They're solid, man. They're solid.
And something tells me Halliburton's going to be moving out there, not like Cade Cunningham was very subdued in that Detroit game. He wasn't really moving like he should be moving. Halliburton's going to be moving, so we'll see how it plays
Yeah,
out.
yeah. It's gonna be a fun
Yeah,
game.
man.
I'll tell you
All
one
right,
thing that they don't have:
what's that?
Mitch Rob.
They do not have Mitch Rob.
Right?
Very true. Very true. It's a good point.
He paced the game from the very beginning last game, right? That first entry pass steal. I love that. The block shot.
And
He
and
had
he
like
was
5 block shots. Nobody was touching him in the paint, grabbing boards. Him and Randall was cleaning up the boards. Then iHeart came in, cleaned up some boards. Like that's what it is,
Yeah, man, they look good, and it's very good that Mitch came out the gate showing that
right?
defensive presence, letting you come into the paint. I'm here. It was good.
I
That was very
I thought we
nice.
were leaving, but you know what? Jalen Brunson taking it in the chin, saying what up. Like,
Oh man, you know what I mean? And then Clyde, razzing Jalen, wasn't what's his name?
Jalen
Jalen
Harris on the double
Jalen
zero.
Harris. Yeah,
That
he
was
was like,
hilarious.
man, that that's still funny. I already said it. I'm gonna say it again. When Clyde said, man, he's double zero, so he ain't nothing. I was
Right.
rolling, man. I couldn't stop laughing. I was like, damn, Clyde.
he
But
was Clyde was upset that they shortened the seating arrangement for him and then Greeny.
that might
He
have
was
been
like,
it. That
y'all,
might have been
y'all
it.
taking away the space. I'm going in. I'm going in.
That might have been it, man. It was pretty good though. It was pretty good, man. It was dope, man. So hey, listen, we'll see what happens. Let's just keep having good thoughts, well wishes for this Knicks team, and hopefully they stay healthy. We
Yep.
need the health.
That's more important. Stay healthy through the
Facts.
entire season and we straight.
Yeah, that's all we can hope for, man. But once again, thank you guys for being here. Shout out to my guy Jose, wherever you at. I know you watching, man. We'll get together on the next one, and we'll get the full 100% three amigos.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. So take care, y'all. Take it easy. We'll catch you. Run that.